Okay, this video is a little bit more technical in nature. We are able, this is the claim, scientifically proved, we are able to influence our autonomic nervous system by breathing. Now, let me put this down for you in such a way that you really understand. Within our body, we have a nerve system. Yeah, we have the central nerve system, which is your brain and your spine, and the difficult word or always the peripheral nerve system. All the nerves that go to all the muscles and everywhere in your body. Yeah, so we leave the central nerve system for what it is and we look at the peripheral nerve system. The peripheral nerve system is divided into the somatic, which is the conscious nerve system, and the autonomic, which is the unconscious nerve system. Yeah. So somatic is, I'm picking up my phone to call my mother, conscious. The autonomic nerve system is my hormonal system, my autoimmune system, the opening and widening of my veins, my cardiovascular system. My breath, the breath is officially autonomic, right? You don't have to think about breathing, and if you sleep, you don't die, right? You don't have to think about it, it's fully automatic. And all these things, and of course your inner temperature as well. Now officially we are, up to a few years ago, medical science told us it's impossible to influence the autonomic nervous system. Now, as I just said, the breath is autonomic. You don't have to think about breathing. But, and here is where the magic lies, it's absolutely beautiful. We can consciously change our breathing, right? We do this in 3 ways. We do this by breathing faster, like Wim Hof method, transformational breath. Breathing faster. We do this by breathing slower, meditation, slow down your breath. And we do this, the 3rd way, is to hold our breath. Yeah, so consciously we can speed it up, slow it down, or hold our breath. And through these 3 tools, we have an influence on our autonomic nerve system. Okay, so how does that work? The autonomic nerve system can be divided into the sympathetic nerve system and the parasympathetic nerve system. The sympathetic nerve system is also called the fight or flight state. It's basically, we used to be cavemen, it's basically outside the cave. Yeah, outside the cave, there are animals, we have to be sharp, we're fighting, whatever, you get what I mean. Inside the cave, we can relax, rest and digest, basically. So, the parasympathetic inside the cave is more like the meditative state. While the sympathetic is more like the fight or flight state. Now, in our current Western society, we are slightly, some people, not slightly, but way too much in our sympathetic nerve system, in our fight or flight. Basically, if you stress too much, you're continuously telling your body that you're jogging, and this is unhealthy. And this shows in chronically higher levels of cortisol. You wake up in the middle of the night, you can't sleep anymore, stress, basically stress. So, through breathing, you can change your state of mind. Yeah, it's like a body hack. Because what happens, if I start to breathe faster, I pump oxygen in my body, like that. I get more oxygen in my body, and my veins, basically my body is saying like, hey man, you have enough oxygen, so your veins are going to contract. This is why your blood, your blood pressure is rising. You go into your fight or flight a little bit more. Yeah, the fight or flight is where your pupils become smaller, you see better, your memory becomes better, your digestive system slows down because you don't need that. If you're ready to fight, you don't need to digest. Your blood pressure is going up, your liver is releasing more glucose, so you have more energy and you're ready to fight or flight, right? So this is what happens when you breathe faster. Now, if you slow down your breath, you go more into your parasympathetic nerve system, your meditative nerve system. And this is basically what meditation is. Slowing down your breath. By slowing down your breath, you're telling your body you go more into your meditative state, and this has a effect on your mind as well. So this is the we know the mind to body connection, but this is basically the body to mind connection. By using your breath, you have an influence on your body, and that has an influence on your mind. It's absolutely magic. I'm almost finished. So a breathing technique like transformational Kapalabhati pranayama or the Wim Hof method is about speeding up your breath. So you might think like, so why would that be good for me if I want to relax? Well, it's like you're shaking up your system. It's much like going out to the park to run. Yeah, your heartbeat goes up, but if you're like a runner and you run every day, you will have a lower heartbeat. So you're training your respiratory system. If you are breathing faster, and like for example the Wim Hof method, it's like breathing faster and then holding your breath. In that breathing faster period, you are going into your fight or flight, but then by holding your breath, you go more into your parasympathetic, into your rest and digest, into your meditative state. And you can really simply measure what it does to you by counting your numbers of the number of breaths you take in a minute. So you can try this for yourself, and if I'm wrong, I'm going to buy you dinner, yeah, because I know I'm right. I've seen this with so many people already. So say for a minute you start to breathe, and you breathe as slow as possible, yeah, and you breathe like, for example, 6 times a minute, maybe 12. It doesn't really matter. It's all about growth. It's not where you are, it's where you're heading, yeah. And then you do, for example, a Wim Hof method technique, or any other, Kapalabhati is also fine if that is your thing, pranayama, and if your thing is transformational breath, it's also fine. But you speed up your breathing, you do your technique, and then after whatever, 5, 10 or 15 minutes, again, you slow it down, yeah, you breathe normally, and you start counting your breath again. 6 times breathing goes to 3 times breathing, 12 times breathing goes to 6 times breathing. Yeah, it's like divided by 2 on average. So what does that mean? That after a breathing technique, you can slow down your breath more. If you are slowing down your breath, you are more into your meditative state. And it starts with your body, and it's a body hack from body to mind. And this is, like by breathing, you can go more into your meditative state by a breathing technique, by speeding it up. And this is how you can influence your autonomic nervous system by breathing. And then another way how you influence your autonomic nervous system is this. By breathing faster, your veins are contracting. Then by holding your breath, the CO2 in your blood goes up and your veins are widening again. And then if you speed it up again, there's more O2 and less CO2, and then your veins are going to contract again. And then by holding your breath again, the O2 goes down and the CO2 goes up, and your veins are widening again. So what happens is by breathing techniques, you can train your cardiovascular system. And this is amazing because #1 cause of death in the world is cardiovascular. Yeah, through smoking, drinking, stress, negative thinking, of course. It doesn't matter what is seen as the cause, but in the end, some vein in a body pops and somebody dies. 30% of the people die of cardiovascular illnesses. By breathing techniques, you can train your cardiovascular system. So how cool is that? Yeah, if you train your cardiovascular system, everything, your blood and all the toxins and everything, can release your body. Well, your blood can flow better. The toxins can leave your body better. Yeah? And by training your cardiovascular system, your veins stay flexible, and you become older in a more healthy, looking younger way. So this is how you can influence your autonomic nervous system by